It might just be easier to do a walk around. So the only thing that isn't finished on this thing is the turn signals on the front aren't wired up yet. I've got the harness and everything. It's just got to be spliced into the light. All the plugs and everything. The factory harness is still under the hood. And then let's see. So the wipers are not connected. The wiper arms are not on there, but up in here, the wiper motor and transmission, everything is connected. It's unplugged right now because I think there's moisture in the motor. So when you turn the ignition switch on, the wipers will cycle back and forth once or twice and then stop. And every time you turn the switch off or on, it'll cycle on or off one time and then stop. But then after that, they work normal. But so the harness, it's down in here, but this is where the harness comes up for the lights. This harness is sitting here. I was using it to check and make sure it had good bulbs and stuff. I'll have to disconnect that and, go down to a 2, I think it's a 2 or 3 wire. Yeah, 2 wire. And then run that down there. And then, let's see, what else? The bed needs to be finished. I just welded that in just to throw shit in the back. I've got all the floor stuff right here to fill the rest of it in, and I've got some metal in the garage. Let's see. It doesn't have, it doesn't have carpet. The factory carpet was kind of ratty, so I didn't keep it. But it's kill matted. That's the back wall and all through the floor. Aftermarket steering wheel. This is a Mustang steering wheel adapter, so you could get it aligned to straighten the steering wheel out. I haven't really gotten to that point yet because I wasn't actually trying to sell it. I was still kind of messing with it. Homemade door panels with speakers. So here's the under dash stuff. Factory blower box. Cut the doors out and put in a piece of ABS. Well, it's not ABS, it's actually really thick, so I don't know. It's about a 1/4 inch thick or something like that. Sealed that in and then ran the vintage air hoses to the vintage air vents. There's a 12-volt outlet, voltmeter. Voltmeter's under here. Oh wait, no, it's right here. Sorry, voltmeter's right there. Turn that on and off for the radio. And it's been sitting for like 2 weeks, but it should still start. It's got a new battery, so. And it's got, oh, hang on, let me turn the air down. It doesn't have defrost or floor. It only goes to the main vents here and there. I couldn't really figure out a good way to hook this up, because putting the factory dash back in with the firewall and everything, you have to kind of pull things out, and it's really tight back here behind here. So I think I'm gonna have to put a throttle position sensor on it, because it'll idle up and down when you're like sitting at a red light and stuff like that. And then sometimes it won't, the kick down switch won't work when you want to downshift, like, and accelerate. Like if you're already cruising in overdrive, you'll have to push this button to turn overdrive off and it'll downshift. So I'll probably do that this weekend and make sure that that's fixed. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty typical. I mean, these seats are really comfortable. I'm not sure what they're out of. I believe they're out of I don't know what this mud is right here. I believe they're out of a newer Ford van. And then the only other thing that it really would need to be perfect is window seals, or like the anti-rattle door seals or whatever, or window seals, I mean. And then I'll probably do this anyway. I mean, before I would sell it if I sold it. I didn't fill these vents in because I didn't want to, mess up the cowl and all that stuff. But it causes some wind noise. So, I mean, I'm not talking about whistling or anything like that. It's just, road noise, which that could be the windows. I'm assuming that it's probably got something to do with the wiper cowl too, but it could just be the windows. But I mean, it's an old truck, so I mean, I drive this thing every day. So this thing right here, it's definitely not going to be quiet, but LED tail lights, LED headlights, the highs and lows because of the steering wheel. So what I did was the adapter and stuff for the steering wheel moves the steering wheel closer to the column, closer to the dash because of how the column sits lower. So it gets it away from me a little bit so it's more comfortable. But what I did with that was, because the steering wheel is closer to the shifter and the signals, the turn signal switch is pushed forward for high beams, and then the highs and lows are both hooked up at the same time and adjusted on here. So it's brighter, but it doesn't blind people because it's adjusted down, which looks better anyway. So I mean, but yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions or anything, I figured this would be easier. I mean, just kind of get it out of the way. New windshield seal, whatever, old windshield. Oh yeah, the gas door. I don't know if I've sent you that or not, but the gas door, or the fuel neck has been shaved and kind of blended to make it look like the rest of the truck. This is original from the 70s. This is me wet sanding. This is me Fotina-ing this to match the rest of that, so it's pretty close. And then that's, the green stripes down the side. It used to be a lighter color, and when I took the molding off, I had to touch that up because it looked weird. So that's pretty much it. So if you have any more questions about it, just holler at me. Just let me know what you think and what you want to, if you want to know anything else.